Okay, everybody, how you doing? Am I supposed to here? I want to talk to you this week about an issue that comes up from the first pasuk in this week's parsha that I've highlighted that the Torah talks about. So we know that Avraham Avinu has to leave from Haran and then go to the land of Canaan, the land that Hashem is going to promise him. El haaretz asher areka. But Hashem says the following: Hashem says to Avraham, Lech Lecha me'artzecha, from your land, umimoladetecha, and from your moledet, from your birthplace, umibeit avicha. Beit avicha, beit bayit av, the house of your father. And so Hashem is specifically telling Avraham, you have to leave the house of your father. In other words, you have to leave your family. So I wanted to talk about this for a second and share with you a Midrash that you've definitely heard before. Okay, here we are. I want to show you a Midrash you've definitely heard before, that you know about, but I want to point out something that's really interesting to me, and that I think that might help us sort of understand better, or try to understand better, this idea of leaving. Let's go back here, Beit Av, and ask some questions about it for you to think about and consider when you talk about the parsha with your family. So we all know the famous Midrash that Abraham's father, this is from Bereshit Rabbah, chapter 38. It says the following: Rabbi Chia, grandson of Rav Ada of Yafo, he said, Terach, Abraham's father, was an idol worshiper and a seller of idols. You can look it up in Sefaria. You can see 38. It's 38:13. Okay, 38:13. You can look it up if you want on Sefaria. Okay, I'm going to skip to the middle of the Midrash. And it says that one time he went away to some place. He had to leave. He installed Abraham as a salesman in his stead, at his place. So he said to Abraham, I can't sell the idols today. Do me a favor, take over the store. We're going to skip to the second half of the Midrash that you've definitely heard. One time, a certain woman came carrying a dish of fine flour in her hand. She said to him, here, offer it before them. So it was like not just an idol store, it was like a idol shul. It was like a full-service idol place where you could buy idols, or they would just offer sacrifices for you. So she's like, here, offer this sacrifice. Okay, here we are. So then he arose, stood up, took a club in his hand, shattered all the idols, and placed the club in the hand of the largest among them. So he took it, he's like, what are you talking about? He took a bat, started to smash all the idols. You've heard this Midrash before, we've all heard. When his father came, he said to him, who did this to them? Avram, of course, said, I will not lie to you. A certain woman came carrying a dish of fine flour. She said, offer it, and I offered it. This one said, I eat first, and another one said, I want to eat first. The big idol who was standing there got up, took the club, and destroyed them. Terach said to him, what are you mocking me? Are they sentient, meaning alive? Are they aware? So Abraham said, do your ears not hear what your mouth is saying? So you've all heard this Midrash before. You heard it when you were kids. But what I want to point out to you is something really interesting. In order to become Abraham, he had to rebel against his father. In order to become Abraham, he had to think about his father's job, his father's beliefs. That was the core of who his father was. And he had to totally rebel against him. He destroyed his business. He didn't accept anything his father did. So what I kind of want to ask you is, like this idea of Beit Avicha, leaving your father's house, so we think about, is being like a Jewish leader, is going out on your own, does it require you to rebel against the ways of your family? Or was it only Avraham because his father was an idol worshiper? If so, why did Hashem say, Lech, go, leave your land, your birthplace, but your Beit Avicha, leave your family? To what degree is going against that which you were raised part of Abraham becoming who he was really, really supposed to be? It's a really interesting question. When we meet, we're going to read the rest of the Midrash and see what happened in his relationship with his father, according to the Midrash. How did his father react to what Abraham himself did? All right, talk about it. Let me know, and we'll see you on Sunday. Have a great week.